out on the sea, searching for something that really found me. I didn't know it, but it drew me to it. Soon I was full of its passion in me. I'm Italo Labignan. 40 years I've fished the world and have learned it's not just about catching the fish, the size of the fish, or the numbers. It's about appreciating every sunrise and sunset, the smell of the sea, savoring the culture and the fish with friends. Here's the catch. It's the total experience. Presented by Bear Reels, versatile, precision, handcrafted hybrid center pins. Seabreeze boats, tame the oceans. Raymarine Electronics. Raymarine, simply superior. This week, I get to fish with my wife, Barbara. She loves to fish, and our goal is to find, catch, and enjoy some Gulf grunts. We travel about 4 miles, our fish finder lights up like a Christmas tree, and it's time to get our lines in the water. Hey, you got a mackerel. All right. You know, Barb, that would be an eating-size Spanish mackerel, but because it's the first fish, we're gonna let it go. Were you surprised that it hit right off the bat?
Yeah.
I saw the face you made when I said we're going to let it go. You went,
Yes.
what? We're using lighter leaders because we're going for some of the mixed bottom fish.
Okay,
Guess what?
we let it release.
Yeah, I was going to release it anyway. Did it cut you off? No, you still got the hook.
I got the hook.
That's awesome. I'm out with my wife, Barbara, and we've got just frozen shrimp. This is like a rec fishing day. When I say rec, R-E-C, not W-R. And we're fishing for some smaller fish. We're only in about 40 feet of water, and we're targeting snapper, sheepshead, grunts, some big pinfish. So this screen might look a little bit confusing. So what we've got here is a navigational chart, and that dot is the boat, and it's right over the spot that I marked. You know, we were free drifting here because I needed to hook the electric up, and our cameraman spotted all the fish on the bottom, so we marked the spot. So this looks like, you know, it's a garbage screen, but what it is, see this little square here? This is a real-time window, RTS screen. With the Raymarine, they call it an ACE scope. And this little box is what controls what you see. So right now I'm moving it up the water column. So there's the top of the fish. And these are probably predator fish with bait fish down below. So that's about 21, 22 feet. So I'm gonna move that box back down because I wanna know what's on the bottom. Right now, that's all bait fish, and these are the predator fish. This is where we've got a nice day. The water's calm, perfect to take your wife out. You know, don't take your better half or significant other when the weather's really bad. Look, you got a nice little lane snapper. She's a fishing machine. Barbara, well done.
Thank you.
Hey, we got variety. There's a little yellowtail that is so cute. Not quite a flag. This would be a mini flag. But look at those colors. Barb?
Nice.
Do you see why they call them yellowtails?
I sure do.
They are such good eating fish.
Yes.
Hey, you got yours off. Perfect. Boy, you're a quiet fisherwoman, Barb.
Yeah, I am. Quiet.
You're getting fish, though. Hey, you measure them. They need to be, I think, 11 inches, Barb, to keep
Okay.
the lane snappers.
Okay.
So Barb is using a standard sliding sinker rig on the bottom. I thought I'd set up a drop shot. I've done really well, especially for the sheepshead. You know, so the weight literally goes on bottom. And unlike having your weight on the bottom and then a leader of line, so you don't know if your bait is right on the bottom, which sometimes works really well. There's a leader here, and then I've got a hook on there. And I think I'm going to just put a shrimp on there. So we've got a hook that we can pretty well run the shrimp, the hook right down the middle of the shrimp. So you know how shrimp curl. I'm going to follow the curl and have it come out the bottom. So we try to do it so that, I mean, the fish should get that in his mouth, right? Double header, Barb.
Double header. What do you
You know,
got?
it's fun. I think I probably got a grunt like you. You know, using the lighter outfits, even the smaller fish are fun. Bring them up. Let's see them. You know what?
Oh.
He's keeper size.
Yeah.
Mine's probably about the same. Oh, look, he's got them hooked just by a hair. Now, these aren't huge, but you know what? You get some nice fillets, and what we've got planned for tonight is just deep frying these fish. So it's going to be like back home getting bluegill or getting, you know, big rock bass. They're not big fish, but you know what? They're great eating, and you get some nice little fillets off them. So these are going to be perfect. We keep fishing on the bottom. Seas are good, and I slowly move us along the reef with the electric, and we definitely are on top of hungry grunts. He's a keeper, Barb.
Is he?
Yep. Good one. He swallowed it, so you might need my help. This is a pinfish. We're going to be throwing them back. We got a couple for bait. I'd like to get some smaller ones. You can open that up. Oh, it's a nice tight. Give it a good jerk. That's it. There he goes. Honey, we're slowly building up. One fish that often shows up when you're fishing bait in inshore waters is the blowfish. These guys have tiny mouths and often inflate when you get them in the boat. This little guy just wants to get back in the water. It's a grunt, keeper grunt. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, how do you get my line? Do you need the pliers, Barb?
I got it.
There you go. Yeah, he'll qualify. We can get two nice fillets off it. Look at, pretty, pretty. But Barb, look at the highlights on the fin right there. Aren't they gorgeous?
Aren't they?
I think
Yes.
they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Here, let me see if I can hold him horizontally. He's got so much energy. Look at it. The one thing about grunts, they have huge mouths. So you'll see when he's hooked nicely. So Barb, I think we can get a few more eaters here, then we can move to another spot. I'm just going to open his mouth. Have you noticed, Barb, how big their mouth, how wide it is?
Yes, really wide.
Good one, Barb. Get it in the boat. Then
Okay.
look at it. Barb, that's the biggest one so far.
I think it is. It felt heavier
Yep,
right from the beginning.
I can see why. Yeah, very nice, Barb.
Thank you.
I got a feeling yours is bigger, though. Oh, yeah. But that's okay. These are eaters. Here, Barb, hold them up. Let's compare. Here, can you hold them like that? They're almost the same size. What do you think? What?
Righto.
Okay, here. Drop them in there. There. Perfect. The weather is great. Seas are calm. We're on fish, and the electric trolling motor is keeping us on the spot. We rebait, drop our shrimp down, and literally catch a fish one after the other. So Barb, so what's new?
What's new? Oh, the blue sky, the nice sun,
Dolphin going by.
dolphins going by.
Did you put enough lotion on?
I think so.
Good. You let me know if you get tired of landing fish, okay?
Okay, I will.
I don't get tired, I get tired, but I don't get tired. Do you know what I mean?
Yep, I know
Yep.
what you mean.
There. Honey, I think we're on a grunt spot.
I think so.
Look, the cooler's building up. I love using the center pin reel when I'm bottom fishing. Doesn't matter whether it's for big fish or small fish. It's so easy to release the line to get your rig to go down to the bottom quick. And I don't mind fighting the fish using my fingers on the rim of the spool to add drag. The nice thing about fishing over a shallow reef is that it's normal to catch so many varieties of fish. They may be smaller, but they're colorful. They're fun to catch, and many of them are very tasty. We land a lot of grunts, and we lose some bigger fish, and I hook up to another one of those funny little fish that blow up. All right, finally. To the Spanish mackerel that we've seen. Wow, nice flip in, Barb.
Yeah, thank you.
What have we got? Is it a blue runner? No, it's a grunt. Nice grunt. Yeah. We take grunts. Maybe they're, I was going to say, maybe they're full. Maybe not.
Maybe they're full.
from stealing all your shrimp, right?
They're saying it's a buffet down there.
Yeah. Shrimp for everybody. I think this one's smaller because your rod's not bent over as much. But I could be wrong. Oh!
It's a-
First squirrel fish. Now we're gonna let it go. I don't think we shifted with the boat. Now here's my technique for the squirrel fish. You're probably wondering, why is he putting his fingers in the gills? Because this is death. This scalpel here on both sides of his face. This is like a scalpel. Barb, do you want to see how sharp it is?
Oh, I've been there before.
Oh, you've cut your fingers?
I have,
on both
yes.
sides?
Yeah.
Man, for people that don't know, they can get hurt so bad. I love fishing with my wife, Barb. I get as much satisfaction watching her catch fish and even helping her to get the hooks out of the fish and rebaiting for her. I want a piece of that pinfish.
Did you?
Yep. Come on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. I catch these all day long when I'm targeting them. Gorgeous fish. Look at it. Beautiful. Tell you what, they are tasty. Nice white meat.
Oh, there he is.
Okay, what is it? It's a flounder. Bring it up. Here, swing it up, up, over the side. Yeah, I think he's a keeper.
Yeah.
We're gonna measure him. Yeah, they're great eating. Oh yeah. It's almost a shame to deep fry them because I like to do them on the grill with a little bit of butter. Just gonna get that hook out, turn around so everybody can see him. I'm not gonna grab him by the mouth because...
Nice teeth.
Oh yeah, he's got teeth. They're pretty.
Big teeth.
Aren't they beautiful, Barb?
Yes, they are.
It's nice just to get a variety, eh?
It is.
Everything from blowfish to, you know, flounder, everything in between. Do these fish look crazy or what? And you know what? When they're young, they're normal. One eye's on one side of their head, one eye's on the other. And as they grow older, it actually migrates. The eye moves. How crazy is that? To one side. And look at those teeth. I can actually see those fangs at the front. Closed captioning brought to you by Leguano, natural barefoot technology for every adventure. We've caught lots of fish, let most of them go, but kept just a few for a delicious fish fry. Time to make like bananas and split. We've got a bit of a run to get in, and then it's time to get fish cleaning and cooking. There, I think I got it all. You know, one thing when you're down here in salt water, and I've been coming to Florida since 1990, it's been a while, you got to take care of the boats. You know, before I even start cleaning the fish, one of the first things that I do is wash and scrub everything down. So I've got my brush, which I set up over there. That boat is already clean. But this one, I had to scrub it all down, especially when you're using live bait, you know, or dead bait. In our case, we're using frozen shrimp. When you land a fish, a lot of times, and that shrimp is on the hook in its mouth and it shakes its head, you know, the shrimp flies and actually sticks. It's almost like glue to the sides of the boat or to the sea deck and stuff. So not only do you have to scrub the boat down and the gel coat and the sea decking, but you got to spray down the console, behind the switches, the sonars, the electric trolling motor, extremely important, even the power poles. You can see that they've got all the vented holes. You spray all in there, everywhere. The motor has to be sprayed down, because when we were coming in, the motor actually had a layer of salt. You could see where the salt had dried, and you could see all the salt, you know, stains on it. So that's all gone now. It's all clean. Now I can start cleaning the fish. And look, you know what? I don't think we did too bad today. Look, we got one nice flounder. We got this spot tail. We got a lot of nice grunts. You're gonna see, this is probably enough food for about 10 people. So I'm not gonna cook all the fish up. I'm gonna be filleting them and making sure that the bones are out of them. You know, on most small fish, like this grunt, most of the meat is from about there and then down to the anus. So this is where the meat is, right here like this. There really is no meat on the ribs. Now some people I know when we go to the islands will scale them and they'll leave the heads on and they'll do some serrations like this, both sides of the fish, leave the skin on, they'll put some seasoning on there, salt and pepper, some paprika, you know, garlic powder, and they'll grill them just like that. To help me clean fish, I've learned to use a rubber mat to prevent the fish from sliding, which is also easy to clean afterwards. The fillet knife has been sharpened, and the first thing I do is spread the fish out like an assembly line. Next, I start separating the fillet along the back on the first fish and work it all the way back to the tail. I slowly and carefully work the knife down the vertebrae and separate it from the rib cage and remove it. I flip the fish over, use the same process on the other side. These fish may be small, but they provide some really nice fillets. If you want to fillet even smaller fish easier, you really need to have a sharp fillet knife. The mat is really helping to hold the fish down in place while I make the cuts all along the back and even the sides. Those little stubs you see in the mat allow the slime to fall through and are tough enough that the knife won't cut them. To check I have taken all of the tasty flesh off the fish, I lift up the carcass and I hold it up to the light. If I can see through it, if the body is transparent, I did a good job with the fillets. I find that when I have quite a few smaller fish to fillet, the more I fillet, the easier and faster I go through them. Even though I'm eager to get frying, I try and use care with every fish that I clean to ensure I do the best job I can. In no time, I have a small pile of fillets, but I still need to separate the skins from the fillets. I carefully take each fillet and pin the tail end with a couple of fingers and gently slide the fillet knife at an angle to remove the skin. I left the flounder for last, gently removing its tiny scales on both sides of its body, rinsing it off to remove all the loose scales, and then filleting it carefully. I make the same cut behind the head as with the smaller fish and work the knife down the back to the tail. I separate the fillet from the side of the fish, placing my hand on top to hold it down and working the knife all the way to the tail. The flounder fillets are thinner and wider and will be delicious grilled. It's funny how egrets know when there's fish scraps to mooch off from anglers. They need some snacks too. Fillets are cleaned, rinsed well, and stacked on a platter ready for the fryer. This is a Fry Daddy, and the oil is getting warm, okay? So I plugged it in. The reason I have it out here, no smell, right in the house, and I can do it right near the barbecue. But also, the flounder, which is right here, we're going to be doing on the grill mat. So what I've done, I've actually pre-seasoned it. I put a little bit of salt, I put a little bit of roast pepper and roast garlic on here, and some pepper, and then just some pieces of butter. So I'm going to put the grill mat on there. I just have the platter that we'll be putting the fish on there underneath it to support it. And I'm going to put the flounder on there once this starts melting, and it's actually going to baste right into the flounder. The rest of the fish I'm going to deep fry, and I've got the fish coating right here. It's a very light coating. So here we go. Let's turn this on. Good. And because we've only got 2 pieces of fish, I'm going to put the grill mat in vertically as opposed to horizontally. And we're just going to let that melt. And while that's happening, I'm going to do small batches of the fish. I usually use Ziploc bags. I roll my sleeves up because otherwise you'll get powder. This shirt is going to be washed anyway because it was worn out there. But I'm just taking about maybe 6 or 7 pieces, and that's going to be our batch to deep fry. And I'm going to test before I drop the fish in. I'm going to test to see how hot the oil is by putting a little piece of fish in. So all I'm going to do is use my Ziploc to do this. It's coated. And I'm literally going to take the pieces out, shake them, and put them in. So before I do that, let me get a small piece of meat. I can find a small piece here. This is the Italian test to see if it's sizzling. If I didn't have fish in my left hand, I could do this a lot easier. Okay, I got a little piece of meat, and what I'm going to do is just drop it in. You hear that? We got good audio. Look at that little piece is floating. It's crying. I can see that little piece is crying. It says, I'm cooking. So let me just close that. So the butter, oh, this is going to be nice. So there's coated. I shook them off, okay, so that there isn't any loose coating on there. Oh my goodness. They're cooking beautifully. It's like a hot tub, like a whirlpool. You can see it. Look at, oh wow, does that look good. So because this fryer is small, it's not like an industrial one, you know, because some of my friends have pretty big fryers. I mean, they can even do turkeys in them. This heats up real fast. And because we're using small batches, and I'm going to put the lid on it, which keeps the heat in. I can actually hear when the fish is almost cooked, because right now you can hear a lot of the moisture is being evaporated. That's what you see here. This isn't oil. This is the water that's coming off at the steam from the fish, because I just cleaned the fish and they've got lots of water content in them. So once that subsides, that's how I know, okay, look, here's the butter ready to go. Now I'm going to take skin side down, because if not, the fish will curl. There's one of the flounder fillets, the other flounder fillet. That won't take long to cook at all. So you can see it's in the juices. That's why I love the grill mat. So it's in the juices and the seasonings. And in a moment, we're going to turn that over. Do those look good or what? Look at, almost like Kentucky Fried Chicken. But this is fried fish. Beautiful. Letting that drain a little bit and on here. So maybe next time we'll go for bigger fish, but I think getting smaller fish like this, you know, there's a lot of these and a lot of people overlook them, you know.
Yes.
So you don't have to burn as much gas to go like 15, 20, 30 miles offshore. You don't have to spend time catching bait and stuff, you know, like for the groupers and the kingfish and all the other species of fish that you can catch out there, even though I love those. Just frozen shrimp on the bottom, very simple terminal tackle. I think we lost one hook, you know, a tiny hook. So we didn't lose a lot of gear, even though we got cut up on bottom because it was a hard bottom. And they're so plentiful, and you get them all year long, especially the grunts. There's that one spot tail in here, in the flounder, which was a bonus. But I think it's so nice. And then I love hearing the crickets. It's calm. I like this ambiance. I prefer being here than being at a fancy restaurant with you. We got privacy, right?
Yeah.
We can neck if we want to, right? We can't do that because we've got a cameraman here, right? I'm saying it's so nice, it's quiet.
Yes.
The one thing that I don't like is when there's a lot of noise pollution. And this is like the only, like it's natural sounds as the motorbike's off in the distance. So you know what, Barb? Half as much as you want. Here you go.
End of a perfect day, eh?
It's beautiful. And we fed a bird that was in the boat. Yeah, so we should do it again.
Yes.
Maybe we'll take a break, sleep in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Maybe go the day after, maybe
Sure.
Sunday. Perfect. One day I wandered out on the sea, searching for something that really found me. I didn't know it, but it drew me to it. Soon I was full of its passion in me. I'm Italo Labignan. 40 years I've fished the world and have learned it's not just about catching the fish, the size of the fish, or the numbers. It's about appreciating every sunrise and sunset, the smell of the sea, savoring the culture and the fish with friends. Here's the catch. It's the total experience. Presented by Bear Reels, versatile, precision, handcrafted hybrid center pins. Seabreeze boats, tame the oceans. Raymarine Electronics. Raymarine, simply superior.